In this video, I'll be live streaming. One, I'll be live streaming live. I'll be taking a look at some YouTube channels, Reuters, and possibly some other YouTubers. Start with Reuters.
U.S. President Donald Trump is facing pushback from gun rights groups. That's after he said Tuesday that ICU nurse Alex Peretti, who was killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis, should not have been carrying a gun before the altercation with federal officers.
I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
Peretti was licensed to carry a concealed weapon. Videos taken by bystanders of his shooting show that Peretti never touched his gun before being fatally shot by ICE agents, contradicting early claims by Trump administration officials that he was a threat to law enforcement. The Gun Owners of America group said it was not happy with Trump's remarks, saying that Americans have the right to carry firearms, even while protesting. The clash comes as Republicans head toward the midterm.
Yeah, and the right to bear arms is a constitutional right that should not be infringed upon. So if states are enforcing laws to restrict gun rights, they are violating the Constitution. So it should be Texas all over America, at least, okay, where everybody should be able to open carry and concealed carry, constitutional carry. People should be able to carry weapons, and it shouldn't be complicated, it shouldn't be hard, you shouldn't have to pay a tax stamp, you shouldn't have to jump through all these hoops. The right to bear arms should not be infringed upon. But it's so hard for to understand. Either you go, well, we'll go whatever, we'll go the European model. So either you stick to roots of America or not. The Constitution. So America was founded, they wrote a Constitution, and this is what we're going to stick to. And anybody going against that is anti-American. So America has been a bigger threat to America than other countries have been. The deep state powers to be that pulled off 9/11, planned in advance. That was a deep state Illuminati, by the way, did 9/11. And then they blamed the Arabs in Iraq and Afghanistan. So the biggest threat to America is Americans themselves, really. And the deep state that controlled America from behind the scenes, and Sweden. So the biggest threat to America and American freedom are Americans. Why? Well, because the deep state are working to de-Americanize America, and they have been for a long time, and Americans have been enabling them. They haven't been doing what needs to be done. A lot of people fell for the matrix system brainwashing, 9/11, okay? A lot of people were deceived during the pandemic. A lot of people were deceived before the pandemic and after. So the 9/11 attacks, World Trade Center 1 and 2, that was done by the deep state, and they planned in advance, which is why I can show you videos of foreshadowing, because they were hinting at it before they did it. And that's the MO, that if they plan to do something, they will hint at it, something major. So the right to bear arms should not be infringed upon. Now it's been infringed upon. So in America, you have to have a 2FA tax stamp, jump through all these hoops, pay. If you want to have a suppressor or a full auto weapon, this or that, you have to, and you have to jump through all these ATF hoops where it's like an arm brace and this and that. You should be able to have full auto weapons, suppressors, whatever, without having to pay a tax stamp. If you had to pay money for your rights, they're not rights, so they're unalienable. And the Constitution is based on these are the rights we have from God, and we have laws protecting them. And it shouldn't be, well, you have to pay to have the right to have a full auto weapon or a suppressor or a shotgun that's this small or something like this. Like an SPR, shotgun rifle, they have all these other hoops. So because America has not been willing to defend and stand up for their freedoms and protect them, the golden frog tiptoe march of tyranny, little by little, incrementally, America has been de-Americanized. So the right to bear arms, Americans should be able to carry weapons without having to apply for it, without having to jump through 60 hoops and pay a 2 tax stamp. Because if you have to pay for your rights, do you understand? It's like if you have a right to freedom of speech, what if you had like, well, you have the right to, but you have to apply, okay? You have to send an application to the government, and there's a 2-week waiting period, and you have to pass a background check. And then you can go to town square and protest and hold up a sign and go, the government is corrupt or something like this. Now, people will be able to recognize that. It's like, well, it's like that we don't have the right to freedom of speech. We have to apply and ask the government if we can speak freely on this and that day. See, if you had to apply for the right to speak freely, you had to send applications. And for the full freedom of speech, it's like a full order freedom of speech. Like if you want to have be able to post on Facebook your opinions on the president, you had to apply to the Freedom of Speech Department, the 2FA or something, it's the ATF, the Freedom of Speech Department, FOSD, FOSD. Then you had to apply and pass a background check if you can be trusted with the right to speak freely in a YouTube post or a Facebook post or something like this. So yeah, the right to bear arms should be infringed upon. And America should return to their roots and have people should be able to have weapons, and it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be infringed upon. It shouldn't be complicated and hard. You shouldn't have to pay money. You shouldn't have to pay time and waiting period. You should have the ability to go and buy guns. As a human adult, you should be able to go, as opposed to non-human adults. So human dogs shouldn't be able to go buy guns in a gun store, okay, a gun shop. But yeah.
Elections, with gun rights voters among the party's most loyal blocs.
Oh, here we go. New virus on the scene.
Thailand is among several Asian nations that have stepped up airport health screenings after India reported 2 cases of the deadly Nipah virus. But
hopefully they won't demand that you get vaccinated if you want to enter the country.
But what is Nipah, and how concerned should people be?
I never got the COVID jab or the booster. Not only did I not get vaccinated during COVID, I know that maybe 80% of people did, but I didn't. So I didn't get vaccinated during the pandemic. I didn't get the first jab nor the booster. So I'm now free to share my vaccine status with you. I know that a lot of Christian pastors, a lot of Christians, a lot of non-Christians, a lot of people got the COVID jab in America and Sweden. I didn't. Not the first one, not the booster, no jabs. As a matter of fact, I didn't get any vaccine since turning 18. I also haven't been voting since turning 18. So also 2 things you might have known about me. I haven't been voting since turning 18. I haven't been getting any vaccinations. No flu shots, no tetanus, no nothing. Not during H1N1, not during COVID, period. No vaccines at all since turning 18. And a lot of people do. These people go get the flu shots. It's like the flu season. During H1N1, the swine flu in Sweden, a lot of people got vaccinated. Some women get the HPV, human papillomavirus vaccine. So that's not something that I need. So yeah, I haven't gotten any vaccine since 2018, and I don't regret that.
Nipah is a rare viral infection that comes mainly from fruit bats. It was first identified in Malaysia in the late 90s. Here's Paul Hunter, professor in medicine at Norwich Medical School in Britain.
Most transmission events are because of a contact either with...
You could probably use the skin of bats to make kites or airplanes, like Da Vinci airplanes. You probably could use the skin of bats. If you could like staple it to a wood frame and make a glider out of it, because it's a fabric that's designed to act as a canopy, like a sail. So a lot of times, and here's another thing, a lot of inventions are really inspired from God's creation. So if you look at, for example, this falcon that flies up, it becomes a bullet. How it hunts, it flies up, it ascends, and then it rapidly descends. It turns, it's highly aerodynamic, and they model it. It's especially similar to the F-35. So there's a falcon that God made. All animals are made by God, and it flies up, and then it scouts for some birds, whatever, some prey it has under, and you just go free fall, and it's highly aerodynamic, and it crashes into it. So it's a kinetic energy attack. It's like a tackle, pretty much. And what else? If you look at, I thought about this before, a lot of inventions come from human beings being inspired by nature, basically. So if you look at swallows, for example, you'll see the tail and the wing shapes in fighter jets. If you look at birds, any like efficient aircraft you can find, well, the fighter jets, airplanes, the wings, the fuselage shape, you're gonna find a bird that has the same wing shape. Okay, so same with weapon designs throughout history, people making different blade profiles, outlines, shapes of blades. You can find a leaf in nature in the forest that looks like it. For example, a dagger that has this shape. You can find leaves in nature that look like this. And pretty much think about that. If you're in a house, you got house plants, and you look at the leaves, they look like a blade. Like if you have that shape, put it on a slab of metal, and then like hydroxy cut it, or how you cut it, grind it, it'll be a functional weapon. So a lot of leaves of plants and flowers are shaped in a way where if it will be made from metal, it will be an effective shape for a spear tip or a sword or a weapon. So a lot of things, human inventions are inspired by nature. So I'm going back to this here.
An infected animal, or with something that has been contaminated by fruit bats.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And if they're gonna offer a vaccine for this, I'm not getting it.
It can also spread from person to person, typically after close contact between the sick and their caregivers, though experts say that does not happen easily. Nipah can cause severe illness and can be deadly.
The death rate varies from outbreak to outbreak, but is of the order of about 45 to 75% mortality rate.
Though Hunter points out,
I'll ask my wife about this. So my lovely wife, we wonderful, lives in Thailand, and she's like my local reporter. So if I want to get like a local, because a lot of times if you're looking at the news from another country, you don't have the same insight. But if you know somebody who lives in the country, that the news reporter, a lot of times they will have a fuller, wider, deeper knowledge of things.
that is based on identified infections. He says some people get no symptoms at all and may not be identified as infected. This means Nipah's actual death rate is likely to be lower. One concern is that the infection has an incubation period of 1 to 2 weeks.
And what this means is that it's actually
My vitamin C water concentrate with B complex, creatine and glutamine in it.
very difficult to control at airports. If you've got a disease that's got 2 weeks incubation period, for the first 2 weeks after somebody's carrying the infection, there's no way you can pick it up.
For those who do get symptoms, Hunter says the early signs can be non-specific, like fever and headaches. In severe cases, Nipah can cause encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain.
You have a high fever, you have very severe headaches, and you can have
Yeah. And on the topic of that, encephalitis and these like extreme brain inflammation cases are not the only type of brain inflammation. So there are brain inflammation like encephalitis or this or that is like critical, and there are certain things where it's like it's real crisis, and if unaddressed, you can die within 24 hours of like this. Now, it's not like unless you have the highest level of brain inflammation, that means you don't have it at all. So you can have brain inflammation if you train boxing and you go do boxing sparring and you get 30 even light punches to the head in sparring, you're going to have brain inflammation higher after doing that than before. And it's going to be higher than what's good for you. And if you keep doing that, especially if you don't do things to mitigate inflammation in between sparring sessions, like before and after work, you can have a problem. So long-term low-grade inflammation of the brain or inflammation can have very detrimental effects, very real effects. Now, encephalitis is a different thing.
Phobia where the light hurts your eyes, and
that's one of the effects that I've had. So I talked about this before. I have autism and ADHD, and commonly called with autism is neuroinflammation, which means inflammation in the brain. And generally, if you have a mental health disorder, mental health problem, you're more likely to have brain inflammation than people who don't. So one of the effects of neuroinflammation is like I've decoded it. So some people have put two together. So some people are autistic and they know that they have sensitivities, like sensitivities to bright lights, light noises, for example. So quite a lot of autistic people, and I've been in a few groups. I know I'm not the only one, which I guess is one of the benefits of being in like Facebook groups, like adults with autism or adults with Asperger type groups, is so you say, oh, okay, I'm not the only guy that walks around with sunglasses indoors a lot of the time or have earplugs or something like this. So I know that a lot of autistic people have sensitivities. Commonly called them with an autism diagnosis is sensitivities, which is why like a lot of people with the noise blocking, what they call noise cancellation in your headphones is quite common. Autistic people end up having those, and it helps to reduce the issues that you have from environmental stimuli like the noises and bright lights if you wear sunglasses, so like these. So that's actually why you see me wear sunglasses and earplugs all the time, because I have sensitivities, which means I have sensitivities to bright light and loud noises, and that's part of the journey of me learning to understand my problems and being able to figure out effective treatment strategies and protocols, doctoring myself to better health. It wasn't until I took my health in my own hands that I had dramatic improvement in different areas. For example, I used to be on SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antidepressants for anxiety and depression. And I got off them and haven't, I was on 150 milligrams of sertraline for 8+ years and I quit them on my volition. And I'm not depressed. So I cured myself depression. Another thing I cured myself is panic attacks long term. I also had asthma attacks. You suffer from asthma attacks and require vent-line inhaler, and will get severe asthma attacks frequently. To cure myself asthma attacks, I don't get severe asthma attacks anymore. So anyway, to the point here. I learned that at a certain point I understood that I have a brain inflammation problem. And after being diagnosed with autism, later on I learned that I have neuroinflammation, basically. So I boils down to, because I'm autistic, I have sensory sensitivities, sensitive bright lights, loud noises. Commonly, and basically it's all inflammations. It's like putting two together. Basically, it's like brain inflammation. That as far as I'm concerned, a big part of the problems that autistic people have, it's traced back to brain inflammation, clearly, if you know what to talk about. So if you look at autism, commonly correlated with autism or sensitivities, and also common with a person on the autism spectrum is being clumsy and family, like coordination, gross motor skills and fine motor skills, being clumsy and family is also common. The people who self-report that it's like the autistic person, when they grew up, they weren't good at sports, they dropped the ball, they trip and things like this. So here's the point. Commonly correlating with autism is clumsiness, fumbliness, coordination issues, and sensitivities. Sensitive to bright lights and or loud noises, lights and noises. Intense sensory input, auditory, visual. So sounds and noises. So check autism commonly correlated, meaning a lot of times if someone has autism, they also have this problem. Uh, Sensitivity to bright lights like noises, clumsy and fumbleness. Okay. Now, what do I know from studying neuroinflammation generally? Like from maybe people from Dr. Daniel Amen and Mark Gordon presents his 3-year TBI study. If it's a YouTube video. And other people that are kind of specialized in the field of neuroinflammation or neuropsychiatry. It's like, oh yeah, people that have PTSD, common equivalent with that is neuroinflammation. And what do people a lot of times if somebody has a concussion, like a severe, just one intense event, somebody has a concussion, a lot of times the day after they're sensitive to bright lights, loud noises. And see, what does concussions do? Give you brain inflammation. A lot of times somebody has a concussion, the days after the doctor might even tell them as part of the recovery to like low lit room and take it easy and things like this. So if somebody has a concussion, which gives you brain inflammation, neuroinflammation, a lot of times after that they will have a sensitivity to bright lights, light noises. And here's another thing: people that get drunk and hungover, part of being drunk and hungover, a lot of times the day after drinking, a lot of people report this like when they get hungover, they drink too much the day before. They wake up the next day, it's like turn off the lights, it's like they turn down the volume on the radio, stuff like this. They wake up and somebody's they're bothered, they're annoyed by noises, somebody's the TV on, they wake up, they hungover, you turn on the volume, okay, I got a headache, and like bright lights and stuff. And what does intoxication, drink alcohol, do? It causes a neuroinflammation, short-term acute effect. So a lot of these things are, it's they've got to decode and connect the dots. So basically, I do believe that a lot of the autism problems that I've experienced, meaning the part of autism that is problematic, the full package, some benefits too. Sensitivities, having had clumsiness before, bad coordination, sensitivities, it traced back to the information. And after having that realization, it's like, oh, I got poor brain inflammation. I start targeting the brain inflammation. It's like science. It's like my theory sees this, whatever it's called, is that a lot of the problems that I have can be traced back to inflammation. And if I'm right, if I start working to lower inflammation in my body, if I'm right in my theory, I can expect to see an improvement in symptoms. So if you have symptoms, sensitivities, clumsiness, things like this, and I think that the root of that cause is inflammation. And if I work to low inflammation and I'm right that that's the cause, then I should expect to see an improvement. And yes, I did. So working low inflammation, first initially cutting down on sugar, decreasing my sugar intake, going to even like periods, 30 days, like 0 grams of sugar per day, but staying low sugar, okay, on a monthly basis, sub 20 grams of sugar per day, less than 20 grams. And taking supplements is two parts. What I've been doing to improve my health, mental, physical health. Less sugar, less things that give me inflammation. Okay, reduce things, part of my lifestyle that I've learned cause inflammation, chemical toxin, cleaning products, cut down sugar, inflammatory seed oils, this and that. And then do a lot of things to actively lower inflammation, taking anti-inflammatory supplements, antioxidants, vitamin C, vitamin E, NAC, ALA, so on and so forth. And sure enough, I've been improving. So, not that long ago, less than 10 years ago, I had periods of time where I was super clumsy. And I remember that. It's not where I'm improved. Now it's like I stand out in how coordinated I am. Like I can juggle things in hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills, gross motor skills. Not say I'm less clumsy than the average person. Like I have more coordination, more well coordinated than the average person, and the opposite of clumsy. Um, but years back, I would have a lot of clumsiness. My sensitivity used to be a lot worse. I would have pain from looking at lights. So it's like now it's annoying, but I used to have a strong pain signal looking at bright lights, loud noises. And now sometimes you see me go live and I don't have the sunglasses on, and I'm not really super stressed out by now before I couldn't really sit in front of a computer model like this and have lighted room without being super annoyed by it. So I used to be more clumsy years back, and it'd be, I remember like the baseline would be, it wouldn't be like a week or a month without dropping a cup or something I'm carrying. It'd be like carrying a cup of coffee from the kitchen to here, or carrying a plate of food from the kitchen to here and then back. There'd be not a week or a month without dropping a plate or a cup or something, or like spilling stuff a lot, which I can still do that sometimes, but now it's more of an issue or being distracted, possibly like stressed, than having a coordination issue, balance issue. So if you have brain inflammation, it can lead to sensitivities, balance issues. And what do people that have concussions a lot of times have problem with? Balancing issues. People have like a concussion, MBTI or TBI. A lot of times they will have clumsiness and difficulty balancing themselves. They will have experience sensitivities and other things. So basically, you don't have to understand all these things, but if you have autism or PTSD or CPTSD or this or that problem, or just an average Joe that doesn't have any diagnoses or problems, I would recommend everybody to, you want to be healthier, fitter, your best self, mentally and physically, work to lower inflammation. That's what it boils down to. That's what I've been teaching for years, my protocols. All my protocols are designed to lower inflammation in people's bodies. Then if you lower inflammation, oxidative stress, from too high amounts to less high amounts, you can see improvement in your general health status, your mental, physical health, performance. Also, aging is oxidative stress. So the more oxidative stress inflammation you have, the faster you age. So in short, if you're looking to live longer, look better, feel better, perform better mentally and physically, see improvement in your mental physical health, I recommend that you lower inflammation. And you can learn from me effective ways to lower inflammation. Short medical disclaimer. Disclaimer, this content is for education purpose only, does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional. Okay. So
that is often associated with cases that ultimately die.
Reuters global health correspondent Jennifer Rigby says there is no need to worry too much.
There's been outbreaks almost every year in Bangladesh.
yeah, and don't be paranoid. If you're an autistic person and have sensitivities, that it's like because you heard it, the truth that brain inflammation can be the cause root of your sensitivities, and he's talking about virus-induced encephalitis, what's called encephalitis, whatever it was called, which is a specific, different kind of brain inflammation that's more extreme and like intense. That people that get sick with this virus and have extreme brain inflammation as a result, they a lot of times die. You don't have to be paranoid or think you're going to die because you got the autism and sensitivities, but you should still take it seriously, because autism is not a virus, okay? It's a different thing, but basically things that give you brain inflammation and are bad. And if you have brain inflammation to a point where you have these symptoms like sensitivities, balancing issues, you should address them and work to mitigate inflammation. What do you think of HasanAbi? I don't know who that is.
Bangladesh, small outbreaks because it doesn't spread easily from person to person.
She says the WHO sees it as a priority pathogen, but the virus has not yet shown signs of becoming more transmissible among humans or spreading easily worldwide. Rigby also says a prevention may be on its way.
There is a number of groups working on a vaccine, notably the Oxford University scientists who developed one of the COVID vaccines. They have a Nipah virus vaccine, and that's actually started human trials in Bangladesh.
I'm not psycho or anything, but I'm pretty good at pattern recognition. So at the beginning of watching this report, I was talking about vaccines and said if they got a vaccine for it, I'm not going to get it. I'm not to protect my YouTube channel for getting strikes retroactively. I'm not saying people should not get vaccines, okay? So if they roll out a vaccine here, it becomes mandatory. I'm not saying don't get it, okay? And I'm not saying that they're bad for you. I'm just saying that I personally do not like to get vaccinated. So unless it becomes law that you have to do it, I'm not going to get the vaccine. If they're offering it for people to voluntarily get it, I will not be choosing to get it. Okay, I can tell that already. So if they roll out a vaccine for this, if it spreads more and more global over time, and they offering vaccines for it in Sweden, I'm not going to elect to get vaccinated if they offer it.
Last year.
In the meantime, experts say those in high-risk areas should be careful. Peel fruit before eating and don't drink raw juice, as it hasn't been pasteurized to kill viruses.
Well, the mayor in the Philippines has...
Yeah, I looked at this video here. We look at a low resolution. And I looked at this video the other day. They have a video of a guy jumping out of a van with an RPG-7, which is a Russian rocket-propelled grenade launcher. And it has a variety of warheads that it can fire, from thermobaric to, which is a fuel air exposure warhead. They have a thermobaric one, they have a heat, tandem heat, they have HE frag for anti-personnel use. So that it's a simple weapon system that's cost effective, low cost, and it's distributed all over the world. And well, it's all over the world. It's an effective Soviet weapon system by Cold War era. The RPG-7, the Taliban used it during their insurgency campaign against the invaders. And they have it in the Ukraine. It's seen use in a lot of conflicts. Then it's a versatile, low cost, effective, like cost to effectiveness ratio that is pretty high. So they have heat rounds, high explosive anti-tank for anti-armor use. They have HE frag for anti-personnel use. They have thermobaric warheads. They have tandem heat, which is like a dual warhead to deal with air explosive reactive armor, where you have first one, it's like you have one thing here and one here. There's one first and then the second one. So the first thing takes out the air brick, and then the second one hits the uncovered armor. It's not covered by an air brick anymore. It's pretty much like that. So here's the point. And it looked professional to me, is what I thought when I looked at it. It looks like a professional hit. Okay, it looks like it looks what I would expect if the CIA had outsourced and used proxies to take this guy out for some reason, or the Mossad or something like this. It looks like a professional hit. There's a van, guy hops out, gets in the not prone but kneeling position, fires off an RPG-7 round on a moving target, hits it. Okay, so it's quickly he's quick to jump out of the van, fire, and it hits a moving target. I think the car might have been moving as he hit it. We'll see pretty soon if I remember right. And it just looks professional. Okay, face value looks like a professional hit. It does look like kind of like a disgruntled guy who voted for the guy, some average Joe, like the Filipino dad who's disgruntled because the guy raised the taxes. And it's like so many hoops to jump through. You got to get a guy to drive the getaway vehicle, appropriate an RPG-7, and then train with it to be able to use it effectively. And yeah, so it just looks professional. They look into this, but face value, this is pretty professional. Okay.
Well, the mayor in the Philippines has a convoy with rocket-propelled...
And a lot of times, what saved his life, I guess, is that he was driving an armored vehicle. And they have armored vehicle, different levels are bordered, like 4 or 5, whatever. So that saved his life. Now, a lot of times, armored vehicles that some companies sell, they're designed to stop. It's like they're not really built to be like a main battle tank, like an MBT. To have that level of protection, it's like you need to have aero brakes, you need to have composite armor. You have okay. So since it's a vehicle, there's some limitations to how armored it can be while still being able to use a normal engine and not like a turbo like the Abrams tank. So there's some limitations to how heavy it can be and all kinds of stuff. So mobility is also important. Like if you would have a highly armored car, but it can only drive like 5 miles per hour, that might be worse than having a car without an armor that can drive fast and get away from the threats. Anyway, here's the point. Trump has a limo. The U.S. president is called the Beast, and that's an armored vehicle. They also have NBC protection, where it's a sealed system with back pressure, what it's called, pressurized cabin. So if there's a chemical attack or like something in the air, they have protection against that too. Like if somebody throw like a glass vial with some chemical gas in or something like this at the Beast limo, it's supposed to not go inside but stay on the outside. So
held grenade on Sunday. Footage shows a black
yeah, so here we look at the
it shows a black SUV carrying
and notice how there's a van here, and it looks like this guy has a assault rifle or an LMG
SUV carrying the
probably.
local mayor. Police
Yeah, so that they have a two-man team there, an RPG and LMG or assault rifle guy, which also looks well thought out and professional. Where they have a guy that's the guy with the RPG doesn't really have good anti-personnel capacity. So in case the security detail would dismount out of the vehicle and you have 4 men appearing and firing at these two guys, this guy can suppress them with his assault rifle. Meaning okay. So if you have this RPG guy, you shoot once, bang at the vehicle, and that's mainly designed to hit the vehicle. Then it takes a while to reload it. Okay, so if they will hit the vehicle and then the president security detail dismount, come out and start firing at him, it's like he doesn't his smoke. Like if you're gonna reload the RPG and use that, there's one guy, maybe two security people over here, two over here. It's like it's not the weapon used to engage infantry. The RPG, possibly as part of a squad where you're part of like the volume of fire, combined fire, where you have maybe grenades being thrown and an LMG and things like this. But it's a point. You don't use an RPG to deal both as one person with armor and infantry. Okay, that's a recipe for disaster. So once again, it looks professional. I thought out where they have the RPG guy, his job is to engage a vehicle, and then you have an LMG or assault rifle second that's ready to counter any personnel appearing and suppress them or engage them. So now, since it's an armored vehicle and they might know about that, the assault rifle is not, or LMG, it is not going to punch through the vehicle. So most likely that's for engaging enemy personnel. Because if you've done something like this, there's going to have been some planning involved. They need to have figure out his route. Okay, so this all kinds of things to show this professional. First of all, they have a two-man team. One guy with a firearm, one guy with a heat shell. You can see from the use that there's some efficiency here. So he's quickly dismounting. It looks like he's been training for this. It's dismounting. He must have had training in the basics of the weapons. Is the RPD-7, like how to load it, how to aim it, and things like this. And there's also some skill there if you're engaging a moving vehicle. So there's timing, you have a short amount of time. It's like it's going to be here, quickly dismount, aim, and then get off your round. And you have like one shot. And yeah, basically this looks professional. So I don't know who this guy has as enemies. If there's some kind of terror organization or if it's some enemy states or some other country that he's got problems.
into a petrol station just after 6 a.m.
And he survives.
when an attacker fired an RPG from across the street. Another gunman armed with an assault rifle also
Yeah, so the vehicle was in motion. It was moving as he hit it.
opened fire.
Now, here's the thing too. One little detail here that shows that they're not super professional is backblast. Okay, so this is a recoilless rifle. It's recoilless, you call it, like the Carl Gustav or an 84. It's recoilless, which means it's a tube without it's not sealed at the back. It doesn't have a breech like a firearm has, which means the universal motion, every action has an equal opposite reaction. So the forward action is compensated and counteracted by an equal opposite reaction. So it's the gases are moving freely back, and so you don't have like a when you shoot it this like this. Okay, there's immense energy required to launch this, but there is virtually no recoil. Now, the problem, the issue is this: there's backblast. Okay, so if you have an RPD-7 or an 84 or a Carl Gustav grenade launcher, and you stand like this, you have to check the backblast because if you have people behind you, they can actually get knocked out or die by the backblast. You know, you're shooting this way, and it's like standing behind a fighter jet's exhaust or something like this. It's like a it's like a shock wave, and like there's like an explosion going backwards. And it looks like he was hit by it. So I was thinking about that before I noticed that detail. That it might have been better if they would have dismounted simultaneously. So they stop, they dismount, and then the guy who I guess was maybe he was the driver. I don't know, maybe they have a 3 or 4 man team where the driver is still sitting in the vehicle, ready to drive off. But it might be better if he would dismount to the left and take up position and be ready to cover already before the guy gets out. So it's like simultaneously they stop the car. The guy with the assault rifle, LMG, whatever he has, goes to the left, and he could rest it against the hood of the vehicle possibly, and then the other guy goes to the right, and they so ultimately as soon as he engages, he's ready to counter. Yeah, yeah. So it looks a little bit strange. He went out here. See, so there's a backblast here. So when he shoots this, there'll be an exhaust. There'll be a explosion, quote unquote, backwards. So if you're behind it, it can knock you out or kill you. So he got right in the backblast here. Hey, look at this. See here, you can see all the smoke.
The vehicle managed to escape the scene despite sustaining damage. Two of the mayor's security personnel were injured in the attack.
Yeah, and it's a kind of ultimate outcome, and almost strange that they were only injured, because that weapon is designed to defeat Cold War era main battle tanks. Okay, to knock out tanks with significant protection. And starting out, they would use that against MBTs like maybe the M60 pattern and things like this. Later on, as armor advanced, and they came up with era bricks, as exposed reactor armor tiles and bricks. They came up with the tandem heat, the tandem warhead. And maybe the first one is not a heat, maybe the first one was just an explosive, the second one is the heat. Now, anyway, here's the point. So, yeah, it's like a commercial for the armored vehicle. Whoever built an armored vehicle, they could use this for a commercial, like customer testimonials. It's like this vehicle that the Filipino president bought this and survived assassination. Like imagine if you're a salesman for this, how good of a thing you have to work with there if you're going to sell this. Like if you're some VIP guys, they're looking at different models and stuff like this. It's like, yeah, here's the one that the Filipino president had or prime minister, and he survived a rocket launch attack with it. Okay, nobody died, just injuries. So it's a point. It most likely was a heat shell, high explosive anti-tank, which works. The warhead has an inverted cone of copper, typically, which is like this. And when it hits it inverts and it becomes a molten metal jet. Okay, so it's like a margarita glass of this. It's a copper, like a triangle, looks like, or a cone. And as it impacts, it melts it, and it inverts and becomes like a stream, a jet of molten metal. And that's really good at penetrating things and then hard to stop. And with a vehicle like this, they don't have air bricks on it. So main battle tanks, the way that you protect against this, you can use air bricks, which is looks like a brick, a rectangle that has an explosive in it. Explosive reactor bomb it's called. So as the heat shell hits that, so here's the main tank armor, okay? Here's a brick outside of it. You hit the brick explodes and pushes out. And that can interfere with the formation of an optimal liquid jet. And it also just, another thing is that even if they're empty, it gives you some space where the jet starts forming further away from the armor. So there's like an optimal distance. Now it might actually become better if there's some distance. So here's the point. Yeah, it's really hard it's like the craft behind that craftsmanship. It's really hard to make a vehicle that's armored and looks like casual, looks like a normal car, kind of. Looks like a normal SUV or van, but can still survive something like this, like a shot from a RPG-7. So whoever designed that did a good job. And if they upsold him, he's probably not regretting it. Understand? And no bias remorse. No bias remorse for him. Okay. It's like if he got upsell and it's like, yeah, we got this car, we're gonna buy it. Level 3, you can stop bullets up to 762 by 39 or 762 51.8 or something like this. But and that's like the level 3, like the basic package. We have this, it can stop like common firearms, caliber 7.62 51.8 or 308 7.62 by 39 and this and that, and a hand grenade blast like right next to it or something like this. But it's like we also have it in this level we can stop X, Y, Z. So if you got upselled, he probably doesn't have any bias remorse about that. Now most likely it's not that he himself, as the prime minister or whatever it is, whatever the big shot title he has, it most likely is not like paying out of his own pocket. I don't think so. A lot of times this will be paid for by the government. So it's kind of like Trump. But when Biden was in office, he'd be riding the Beast, it's called, the limo that's armored. You have Air Force One, Marine One, and then you have the Beast. And it doesn't matter who's the president. They all have the same security package. So I don't know who yeah. So what looks a bit strange and a little bit amateuresque is that they didn't think about the RPG guy dismounts to the right, kneels, gets his shot off, and hits the vehicle. And then there's another guy with a LMG or an assault rifle who dismounts and gets kind of like right behind him, and there's a backblast. So that's bad. Okay, that indicates, makes it look less professional. The guy operating the RPG looks very professional and effective. It's like quick, under stress. This is like how are we not under stress in like this. So stop the vehicle, dismount, quickly gets in the kneeling position, gets off a run and hits a moving target. It wasn't moving fast and it's not super far away, but it still hits it. Okay, and the guy behind him looks more like a rookie. Whereas like he dismounts and stands behind the guy with RPG in the backblast zone. So, which even if it doesn't kill you, it's like a flashbang going on next to you or something. So you can decrease your combat effectiveness. It stirs up dust and you're getting all the stuff in your eyes. It can be dust that shoots in your eyes. You can't see anything. You can see that there's smoke there. So basically, if you're going to have this guy be shooting and in combat, you don't want to be under the effect of like a blast right next to your head before that, because that can decrease your combat effectiveness. So the number 2, the guy riding shotgun, looked a little bit impressed, but the guy you see here, this is kind of stupid, okay? So he's here, he's in the backblast area. So there'd be maybe a 45-degree angle behind him out to 5 meters at least that you don't want to be inside of when he fires off the RPG. And he gets right into that zone, which is a bit ill-advised. So it would have been different if they would have dismounted and the LMG guy or the guy with the assault rifle dismounts to the left and sets up position over the hood of the vehicle from the left, and then the RPG guys on the right. That might have been better tactics. See, like if he got to the left of the vehicle, then his head was here and he could rest the rifle here. We'll also be partially behind cover for different certain angles.
The vehicle managed to escape the scene
See, so he gets out here
despite sustaining.
and he gets right behind the backblast. So if you don't know, we can do this. RPG7 backblast. See, RPG7 backblast. We want in English here. Some of you think because I know a lot and I can teach things from memory that I'm just making things up to sound like I know things. I've had Hades before, so I just make things up. So sometimes I like to show what I'm actually from memory. The backblast area is a cone-shaped area behind a rocket launcher where hot gas are expelled. The backblast area is dangerous to ground personnel. It may be burned by the gases or exposed to overpressure caused by explosion, which I said would be like a flashbang going off next to your head, where you can rattle your brain, okay, which decreases combat effectiveness. So in all kinds of ways. So you can see like low resolution, it looks like it's kind of thought out. It's like we have the RPG guy and it's like a sniper spotter team or something like this. We have a sniper, a DMR guy, and you have a guy with an M4 who's ready to defend against people approaching position. And you're better off if you have an M4 or something. If it's like on a hill, then you have a DMR guy or Barrett, somebody's got a bolt action sniper rifle and maybe a sidearm, a pistol. But his job is to shoot something long range. If there's suddenly like a squad, like 6 men coming up the hill, if you have an M4, you're better able to deal with several opponents. If you have like a bolt action rifle and engage several people, largely due to the lower volume of fire. So here's the point. So it looks decent, the tactics, like the planning out is okay, we have one RPG guy and we have one guy with a assault rifle and LMG. And how could that work? Well, let's clear this out. Paint. Look at this here. So here's how they did it. Here's the Filipino vehicle, and it looks like they were possibly coming from here. Make a turn here. This guy stopped here. Here's the van. One of these guys dismount here. This is the RPG guy. And then the LMG guy is here. Now, it might have been more effective if they had the LMG guy, assault rifle LMG, dismount on the left, and he's ready to cover. So after a hit, if the vehicle is hit, and a lot of times they will have a motorcade where they have more than one vehicle. Sometimes they have bluff vehicle too, like a doppelganger. So they have the same pattern both for the person and for vehicles. So a lot of times in motorcades like this, you will have a bluff vehicle. You have 2 beast limos. So if there's going to be something like this, there's a 50-50 chance that they pick their own vehicle. And they can shuffle the deck too. It's like they leave and then they can get and like switch positions, stuff like this. So that's the tactic used by motorcades. We have armored vehicles and you have like 2 or more than 2. They look the same, okay? You could also have a van and you have like 4 of them that look the same. So if you're going to have a guy like this with an RPG, there's like if you have 4 vehicles that look the same and 3 of them is like the Secret Service or like a bodyguard detail and 1 of them is the big shot, there's a 1 in 4 chance that you pick the wrong vehicle and you might only have like 1 shot. So if you look at this here, so it looks smart because if you think about this here, this guy dismounts, fires an RPG, boom, okay. what can you expect to happen if this is the only vehicle, especially if there's two? A lot of times it'd be two. But let's say there was only this one vehicle. Well, if the Filipino president or prime minister is here and you have a security detail, let's say there's four men, and let's say here's the Filipino president, the VIP. We fill him in there, okay? And let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 security guys. If these guys dismount after being hit, and one of them goes behind here, one of them goes behind here, and then maybe one person starts flanking and going here and like here, okay? Now, these people will start shooting at the threat to counter the threat. This guy's shooting from partial cover, see? So this guy with RPG, he has a rate of fire, maybe one RPG rocket every 30 seconds or so, okay, depending on training and stuff. Where he loads an RPG, shoots once, and then he's going to load in a second one, take aim and fire again. So for an average job, but maybe optimistically every 15 seconds you can get off an aimed shot with this, okay, if you have several rounds. And that's look like they do. Now, it's not a weapon to use. That is a weapon to counter a vehicle, okay? It's a weapon opportunity used to counter a vehicle, an MBT, like an old Air One, or a technical, they're just basically a lightly armored vehicle, more heavy armored vehicle. So it's a weapon for targeting one vehicle at a time, and it's not really good at like bang, 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 firing at many things quickly, okay? So you can use massed infantry. You can use with certain munitions. Yeah, you can use it against several infantry if they're massed and they have a frag, HE frag rocket launcher. It's like there's a mass of infantry, and you or a squad moving together, find the middle. You can knock out several. But basically, it's not the right weapon for engaging several enemies at once or like quickly. Okay, to deal with several infantry. So that's where the guy with the assault rifle LG comes in, where he can provide cover. So bang shoots. If there's people that dismount and start shooting, this guy can suppress them. Suppress means if you're standing out in the open and then there's gunfire come at you, zing, 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 and the impacts around you, or maybe you get hit, it has the effect that you will see cover, get behind cover. And when you're taking cover, you're not effectively engaged the enemy. So if I'm standing here with a gun and I'm like, I'm going to try to shoot you. Now, if there's bullets flying at me, that makes it harder for me to take accurate aim fire and be effective by fire and hit you. So if you're being shot, it has the effect of you taking cover. So when you're taking cover, you can't shoot back effectively. So that's suppression. So he can suppress the enemy and he can actually engage the enemy and take them out. So basically, it looks like good tactics, only this little detail that kind of mess it up. So here, this guy that has an LMG here, or an AR, ought to be an LMG, like you can even use an assault rifle like an AK-47 with a 75 round drum mag or several ones. Like the North Hollywood shooter, the Wilmot Cerrone and Larry Phillips, where they had assault rifles with high capacity magazines and used them like you would an LMG light machine gun, basically. So you can use an assault rifle with a large magazine and use it in the LMG role, light machine gun. That's the point. So better would have been like a high capacity mag where you could have the guy have a AK-47 with a 75 round drum mag and then a plate carrier with regular 30 rounders after that. So the first, you don't want to like round several drum mags, but the first, as your start engagement, you can have a drum mag, and then the following mags for reloads can be 30 rounders on like a chest rig. Okay, that might be better. Now here's the point. And one thing with drum mags is they're more likely to jam and they're paying too low and things like this. So here's the point. A lot of militaries is like they have tried the drum mag for their armies. They tried it once and then they go back to box mags or like banana clips like 30 rounders. So
Sustaining damage.
So yeah, here's the point. So it would have been better, as far as I'm concerned, if he would have dismounted, exited, and took up position to the left. Possibly he could rest the rifle over the hood of the vehicle, and he could be partially behind cover by the vehicle, and have a more stable shooting platform that way. Also, it would be better if he had an LMG or an assault rifle for the drum bag, not just a third rounder, so he can start like spraying and suppressing the vehicle area if, in case people are dismounting. So now it's like it looks professional, but one of the people involved in the plot didn't look that professional because he exhibits a lack of awareness of the backblast or the RPG, and he dismounts and gets behind it. Okay, so here, this guy could be an LMG guy. Okay, ultimately LMG here, and he's ready to shoot and cover, and this guy could get off a second round. So, for example, if you would have a second round, you hit it once. If it comes to you get a mobility kill by it's not completely destroyed. He can reload and engage again, and he doesn't have to worry about infantry popping out and engaging him. So the other guy's job is to provide cover and suppress any infantry appearing and stuff like this. So it looks like well thought out and professional, but it's like the one guy that was in on it, the guy in the RPG backblast zone, definitely hasn't been trained in the army, I would say. He's not going to be like an ex-military guy or something like this, because he would know about this. He would be trained about this. Like when the RPG guy is fine, make sure backblast area clear, back, okay, go. And so both the guys shooting the RPG and the people around him would know if they were ex-military or something like this. It's like that's something you don't get in the backblast area. So
Two of the mayor's security personnel were injured in the attack. An assassination survived as survived.
so what are the negative effects of being in the backblast zone? It's like if you draw like a 45-degree triangle like this, maybe out to 10 meters, okay, 5-10 meters, like 5 meters especially, but even out to 10 meters, is you can get a concussion. So you have like a blast effect where it can get you similar to being in a room, like in the bathroom. If the SWAT team comes for a flashbang, your ears are ringing and you're kind of disoriented, okay, which is not conducive to being able to effectively shoot weapons. That's the whole point. You get kind of disoriented and make it harder for you to be able to do like fine motor skills, like turning the safety off a weapon or aim careful stuff like this. So it ring your bell, understand, to get you rocked and dazed, okay. So it can have that effect where it's like you get rocked and dazed, okay. And then also blinded. You can be blinded by the light itself. You have like the backblast, and if you don't get this from the explosion, like rather than brain getting disoriented and the light blinding you, and like being burned by the gases, you can have, if there's like sand and gravel stuff, you can have things, sand and dust being shot into your eyes, okay, which is also not conducive to good combat effectiveness.
An assassination attempt after his convoy was ambushed with a rocket-propelled grenade on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's an RPG 7.
CCTV footage shows a black SUV carrying the local mayor pulling.
And it looks like a PGV 7. PGV. Let's look at warheads. It looks like a PGV. RPG 7 projectiles. Here. Well, they might have a list on the main. On the main RPG wiki. Here, ammunition PG7VL, PG7VR, TBG7V, OG7V, PG7V, and that's what I guess, PG7V. And if you look at the shape there, here, TB7V, and look at the tip of the rocket launcher, and it's kind of low resolution, but it does look like that.
They carry.
And that's one of many rockets this can fire. OD7V, fragmentation warhead for anti-personnel. So that's a HE frag, basically, high explosive fragmentation. And that's better used for infantry. VS. They have a tandem hit too. Hit probability is 50 meters, 100%. Now, remember, hit probability is here. Army evaluation of the weapon getting hit probability is on a 5 by 2.5 meter pending sideways at 4 meters per second. So, at those conditions, which is pretty much the conditions we looked at with the Philippine vehicles, pretty much exactly that. If you looked at the speed when at the moment of impact, he was moving around 5 kilometers per second or something. 4 meters per second. Okay, meters per second. 4 meters per second. 30 feet per second. Now that's actually pretty fast. Crosswind, in an 11 kilometers per hour wind, the terminus prefers more fuel time. So at 50 meters, they give 100% hit probability. Now I would guess that as people are trained on the weapon system, not a first-time shooter, and yeah. Now you have to also take into account that it's not like an auto lock-on system where it's 100% that you will hit it if you just aim it in a direction. That's if the sight picture is right, like anything else. It's like the accuracy of a pistol or something like this, like one MOA or something like this, where you can rate a gun if it's like stable in a bench rest, like in a vise, and you shoot it and you see it's like there's no shooter error, okay? It's completely stable. And it's like the weapon will hit within this circle at this range. Okay, now that's going to be skill dependent too. So even at 50 meters, somebody could hit. So it's not 50 meters, 100% hit probability. But they don't tell you that means that if you're aiming right, okay. So if your aim is off, it's always not going to hit because it's not mattering. Well, with the guys with RPG within 50 meters of the thing, he wants to hit, so it's going to hit 100%. Because if he's aiming to the side, even within 50 meters, he's like, I want to hit that car, it's not going to hit 100%. So it's like if you're aiming right, okay, you have the side picture right. And I think the lowest increment is 50 meters on the RPG-7 on the sights. They also have an optical sight, but I didn't see him have one.
The local mayor pulling into a petrol station just after 6 a.m. when an attacker fired an RPG from across. Another gunman who opened fire. Another gunman armed with an assault rifle also
See here.
opened fire. The vehicle managed to escape the scene.
Yeah, so
Despite sustaining damage.
yeah, so you can see it's in the back blast on there, and there's a lot of smoke and like dust being kicked out from the back blast, which makes him able to see well to begin with, and he probably had his brain rattled there. So, I mean, what they could have done, he could have at least gotten, like, rolled down the window and gotten behind this door. He could have went like crouched down behind the door and waited for the shot to go off, and then go up and poke his gun through the window.
Seen despite sustaining damage. Two of the mayor's security personnel.
A lot of times these vehicles will have protection against blasts. We'll talk about the presidential limo there. They will have mayor, okay. I've been referred to him as president, the president or the prime minister, mayor, okay. The big shot, okay. The VIP. And they will have run flat tires, which means even if they the tires get short or they hit a spike strip or something like this, they're designed to be able to keep running and be protected against running it flat, okay? Because one of the worst things that can happen in ambush is to get stuck, okay? You want to be able to drive off and get out of the danger zone quickly. It's like in an ambush, especially if you're...
Personnel were injured in the attack. Gunman armed with an assault.
Yeah, so that's interesting. This is thermal grenade warhead. Here's the tandem charge heat. And then PG7VL. So this is what I thought, what I think he shot. This is what he hit him with. Single stage heat, PG7VL. And penetration, 50 centimeters RHA, which in actually stands for rolled homogeneous armor, which is like old school vintage armor, like World War II tanks. They used rolled homogeneous armor, and it's still used as a reference, like equivalent. A lot of times, if you research tank armor, you'd be like, this tank, they have composite armor. Then it might be ceramic and this and that, and maybe rubber, like all kinds of stuff in part armor. It'd be like equivalent to this much RHA, to be like a reference value. Like RHA is still used. But it's like this tank has maybe this thick armor, but it's equivalent to a meter of rolled homogeneous armor or something like that. So, what else? We got to check some other news stories. Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see if if the global virus crisis is back for round 2.
Apparently, some crazy shit happened last night. I didn't really see a lot of it with that lady getting shit thrown on her in Ilhan Omar.
I gotta put up my wife's PayPal, so if people want to donate, you can donate to my wife's PayPal link.
You know this was staged. Yeah, everybody here thinks that it was staged. So here we go. Here's the video.
Impeachment.
So this is the guy. Yep.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he's sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No.
You missed the head nod? Oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
Yeah, and you can see, obviously, they don't know what the fuck happened, right? But there are people saying that there's a head nod. Thousands are calling for an investigation after Representative Ilhan Omar has staged an assault on her during a speech last night. And you can see this is the guy drinking Fiji water. Very funny. So anyway, take a look at this here, right? And you've got, where is it here, if I can find it?
Yeah, so I believe that throwing liquids on another person should be considered assault, no matter what, okay? It should be an assault crime. Meaning, yeah, simply that. I believe it should be assault crime. It should be in the same category as pushing, punching, somebody, throwing something at them like a ball or whatever. It should count as assault. And it will be varying degrees of how severe it is. So if the liquid is urine or acid or bacterial juice or something like this, obviously it's more severe. So you have different degrees of assault. But no matter what, I think they should be considered assault. If you throw a glass of water, a cup of coffee, a glass of milk, whatever you throw on somebody, a cake, it should be considered assault, okay? If you walk up to a celebrity or a president or prime minister on a press conference, you throw a liquid on them, that should be considered assault. And against average Joes too. Meaning, how would it not be? I mean, if I'm sitting in a cafe and I'm walking through a cup of coffee in the face of somebody else, or even if it's just a glass of water, it should still be considered assault. Okay, it should be, no matter what the liquid is. So the light is more safe if it's orange juice or water that you saw. It still should be considered assault. I mean, if it's like a really dangerous liquid, it should be more severe.
This post right here has
I remember there was somebody they pranked Tom Cruise to have like a microphone with a squirt device in it and sprayed water on him when they interviewed him. So I've had a gang stalking program use perfume, sprayed perfume around me before to talk me physically.
8,000 likes. It does. And there's a lot of people that for some reason, like, they actually believe this shit. It's unreal. Like, people are out of their fucking mind. And so false flag attack, I don't think there's, yeah, of course it's AI. I know it's AI. That's the point. Like, but yeah, people are just believing along with this shit. You're basically saying there's no hard or sufficient proof, but it is unlikely yet possible, correct? What would you say the percentage is that this was staged? The percentage that this was staged? Honestly, I'm going to have to agree with Polymarket, 4%. I think 4% is a great number. I would say below 5, but maybe above 1. Like, I would say somewhere around there. 3%, 4%, 2%, something like that.
That was my intuitive perception, and it turns out I'm not too dumb. Because as soon as I saw this, I thought to myself, look at this privately yesterday. It looks professional. It was sophisticated, but later.
What we see on this particular occasion was an attempt on a mayor of a particular district in the Philippines who has been subject to previous assassination attempts, coming back from an early morning market to his home, as it's believed, in both the Toyota Land Cruiser that he was and his security team were contained within, and a follow-up security vehicle.
And you can see that this is somebody filming a computer monitor. So that might be a CCTV camera in a gas station overlooking the area or something like this. And then maybe somebody went in there and kind of leaked it by filming the computer screen as a reviewing the footage. Okay, it could be like a cop or something that went there as part of the investigation, and they have a CCTV camera, a gas station, or some establishment overlooking the area. They go in there, they have like a CCTV monitor, and they play back the footage, and it looks like they might use their phone to film a computer monitor. This is, you can tell. There's a certain moment in the footage where you can tell that it's filmed.
We see on this particular on a mayor coming back from an early morning market to his home that he was armed group K-47 and other out their attack in the dock. Not just the planning of the security.
Yes, if you look at this shows that the film in the morning.
Team and their management of threats should.
These effects, these like spider web effect, concentric circles. Somebody asked what I think about somebody. What do you think of HasanAbi? I don't know who HasanAbi is. We'll take a look. He might be this.
Megaphonics, they're just trying to get through Automod.
A lot of people cheat, okay? A lot of people cheat on YouTube. I've seen that before. So there's people that bought accounts to have a job to harass me online. I'm a target with cyber stalking, gang stalking. And part of gang stalking, this real world targeting, this online target cyber stalking. So they're all bought accounts I use to target certain ideas and people, individuals, and support others. So they are bots that have jobs, people And bots, it could refer to a human operating the bot accounts like sock puppets, but they are bot accounts. Possibly some are controlled by AI, but it's also humans that have like a job to have 10, 20, 30, 100 sock puppet accounts and go and support certain ideas and people and attack other ideas and people. And I've seen that for a long time. There's a lot of Christian ministries and pastors where I can tell that somebody's paying to have people come there and do thumbs up and fake positive comments, which is deception and very unfitting for a pastor. It's like it's a form of deception, lie. It was like, amen, best pastor ever. And I can tell that these people have a job to like go to every upload this person does and hype it up. So and give a thumbs up and fake positive comments. And there's the same in the inverse. So people like me have people that have a job to comment with negative comments, and it could be one person with like 5 accounts sometimes.
Say Asmon has more viewers there.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's more common than not. No, I don't use that, but I can tell that it's more common than you think. It's more common than you think, than some people might think.
They're foolish. Wait, who is this? Jason D241. What happened here? What happened right here? What happened right here? Asmongold chatters? Why did that happen? The view bot purge happened on the 21st. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Multiple times recently, Asmon has refused to comment on you, and here you are. Refused to comment on me. You know we can see.
That's the thing. Another thing that I don't like is YouTube letting bigger YouTubers get away with things they don't let small YouTubers get away with. So, for example, it counts as fake engagement, false engagement. So people doing that are risking their YouTube channels. Okay, because it's clearly against the terms of service to have false engagement, which means it's like if you're paying people to go and like leave thumbs up and post their comments on videos, it's like a way to game the system. They have a term of service against them. But then small time YouTubers to do like networking, where it's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's like the networking channel streams, people connect to each other, and it's like subscribe to each other, that they show up. And I've done that before. It's like they have networking channels where like they let you drop your somebody's like live, comment, make friends. You go drop your channel link. Some people subscribe to you, see them next day. Hey, it's me here, and I check the comment, go subscribe to the person's channel. Look, oh, this guy video, and go leave a like and a comment on this video, and there's a little bit like that. Now that's not like fake. It's like normal. It's like network. Okay, it's not fake engagement. It's like you have networking channels where you go to drop your link, you subscribe to other people, and then it can be organic. Where it's like I don't do fake stuff. If I find a person's channel, and it's like a growth streaming networking channel, and somebody drops a link and I click go to. There's some channels I don't subscribe to, but if there's a channel looks kind of nice, a blog on it, there's some upload. I look at their homepage, maybe have a short of some cute dance, and it's like organic. I think yeah, I like that video. It's pretty cool. Yeah, kind of a cool video. Thumbs up. Okay, so now that's a different thing than paying people like the borders who Asmongold. If he's doing that, it might be like you pay a call center in India, and it's like 3 guys with 100 YouTube accounts each that come into live streams and leave comments to trigger the algorithm, to kind of game the algorithm.
See your chats.
Something similar to that. Okay. It can also be like all automated in AI, and they use like a server and an AI bot accounts.
In his stream, right? Where he's like very clearly talking every day. He's talking about me right now, probably. Let's see, randomly clicking.
Yeah, exactly. And what is this here? How much do you want to bet that?
So it's like, why would I not? It's like this type of stuff. Now you have to realize this world system is fake. But if you look at these mediocre guys like Hasan, Asmongold, and Penguin C, and you take me, it's like, why it would be harder to argue for if you were a hater, Mike. It's like you waste your time working to stream. It's like if people like this Hasan or Asmongold or Penguin C can get to 1 million subs just by going live on Twitch and YouTube, playing video games and watching news stories talk about it, they're not really amazing in a way. They don't really stand out. The looks, the charisma, the talent, the IQ, the vocabulary, nothing that's really like wow. Okay, no really wow factor. And there's a lot of people, just average Joes that start playing video games on Twitch and end up being huge. So it's like, why wouldn't I be able to grow a significant audience if I keep streaming live from Bumble to Twitch and YouTube and Bumble? It is inevitable unless it's being rigged and they're working to sabotage what I'm doing, which they are. But still, it's like I don't care. It's like I'm gonna keep streaming even if I have like one viewer. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get more viewers. And now and then, depending on what type of content I'm doing, like the format, sometimes I get thousands of views on live stream. Depends on how, when I go live and what I do.
She watches streams. I don't know if she did or not. And wait till you surpass his follower account again. And the funniest thing about me view botting, right? This is the other thing too. I'll see if he is doing it today or not.
Doing it today. Doing it today. Doing it any day.
Guys.
What is this? 7,000 subs. The bot purge was at 40%. Make no mistake, by the way. It has nothing to do with the actual policy. But unfortunately for many people on the internet, this is the one way that they test someone's legitimacy. So every now and then when his audience comes in here to complain about how I'm always talking about Asmongold while he's literally talking about me at the same time, I have to show them something that maybe causes them to question whether or not this person is legitimate. That's it. Because that's the reason why many of them consistently talk about how Asmongold has a lot of viewers. Asmongold has a lot of viewers. You're coping.
Yeah. So that is a ridiculous thing that people do, where they act as if, and it's so silly and like low critical thinking. It's like some people act as if the person that has the most viewers is the best or something like this. It's like, no. They have to explain it to adults, some adults now. That it's not that if somebody has more views on the live stream, that means that they understand if I have less views on somebody else, that doesn't mean that my live streams are worse. Okay, it's not like views are a reliable indicator of quality, a metric. It's like the number of views proves quality. So it's like you can't use it like that. It's like you look at different YouTube streams, and you see one stream has 3 viewers right now, one has 300. That doesn't mean that the one with 300 is a higher quality stream, that he's doing better, is better, or there's higher quality. You should have the opposite. You really should care about what the quality, the subject, the content is, the subject. You should look at the content and not the numbers, the metrics.
Show how correct Asmongold is also wrong, they start second guessing themselves. Okay, that's it. I do sometimes wish there were people that, you know, in my community as well that had a similar perspective, that understood why I was doing this kind of thing. He's utterly irrelevant as a political actor or commentator because like 5% of his viewers, being generous, ever interact with the real world or go outside at all. They only exist online. They will never influence or accomplish anything other than piss people off online. Yes and no. So there is some truth to what you're saying here. Okay, but unfortunately in this administration,
I mean, to tell the truth, Asmongold is a loser, as far as I'm concerned. So people who follow a loser are going to be losers. Asmongold is a so-called beta male. He's not a strong, competent, he's not an alpha. He's like a beta. And if people are following a beta, they are a super beta, understand? So if somebody's a super weak man, not fit to lead, and people are like, this is my leader, like how much of a weak man do you have to be to follow a guy who's weak? Do you understand? They'd be like, yeah. So Asmongold, as far as I'm concerned, is a loser in nature. You go, well, he's got a lot of followers, but it's like he, as a human being, his talents, traits, qualities, IQ, looks, talent or lack thereof, more precisely, and these things are just this off is going to be lack thereof more so than the presence. So Asmongold is like a loser, Okay, as far as I'm concerned. So people who follow a loser, they have to be super losers on the side. Do you understand? So
Get rid of these people, put them like completely out of their jobs. Get rid of them. Make an example of them. Say, listen, this is what happens. Gamers rise up. What goes around? Yep. What goes around comes around. And we're coming.
Some of them do actually end up getting fired. So like he does have a way to move his community around in a way that has real world impact. And he does this with like regular frequency. He also does have.
then there will be a narcissist with the flying monkeys, basically. Operate like a narcissist with flying monkeys. And I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm not a coward. So yeah, I think he's a loser. If he's butthurt, he's like, oh, I'm gonna try to shut you down. And I'm like, well, you're a piece of shit then. So I've outgrown that. So, and I dealt with a lot of people. Most people like that, where if you have YouTube be part of people that want to shut you down. It's like I had a forum with a community, Edward PF, and it was like a group of supporters of him, a little clique of YouTubers. And they were all making videos, trash talking, attacking me as a group. And I'm making videos about them. They all be like, every time I upload a video, there'd be like emails like, Mike made a new video, that's all going mass flag for hate speech, bullying, or reported, just give negative commentary. And that's quite pathetic because the way that I am, I'm a Christian and I'm for freedom of speech, which means I'm for freedom of speech of right and wrong. So I'm for freedom. If you truly feel freedom of speech, you're for freedom of speech of things you disagree with, things that make you angry, things that are wrong. So I'm a Christian. I'm against homosexuality because it's a sin. I'm against feminism. There's a lot of things that I'm against, but I'm a Christian. I'm for people making videos and the freedom of speech to be a Muslim and say that Christians are wrong. Okay. I'm for people being able to make videos saying that autism is an evil disease or so forth. I have autism. So it's not that I'm only for people having the right to say things that I agree with. So I'm a diehard, like true believer in freedom of speech, which means I'm for the Jews, but I do believe the Nazis should have the right to speak their Nazi ideologies in YouTube videos. Okay, and I'm an anti-feminist, meaning I'm against the ideology of feminism. I don't like feminism, but I'm for feminists being able to voice their beliefs. But a lot of people, they're weak, is seen as weakness, where it's like, do you understand? It's like if somebody makes a video about me, let's say Asmongold makes a video, Mike is a scumbag, my response is that I want to try to report and try to get him a deplatform so he can't say bad things about me anymore. No, I'd be like, okay, let him talk and I make videos and respond to what he's saying. That's what also this about me, my response to what he said. So that's the point. Yeah, I'm not concerned about these people. I had the deep state going after me, so one of them system shellfluencers. I do can't ask for, by the way, is a deep state, I'm not a shell. He's a shell. He's been approached and talked to and captured by the deep state system. He's a deep state shell. And he's a scumbag and a loser. That's what I thought.
Have a lot of people that are getting his talking points and then spreading it around. I mean, he's making this space a more toxic space. When
he was promoting witch hunts, bringing back witch hunts and insane asylums, kind of foreshadowing Trump's like sudden going like we are opening asylums again. I saw a news story. Hope it wasn't like an AI fake. Well, I do hope it was. This system influences a lot of times work in tandem with politicians. They had T1, these people take the White House. So Joe Rogan is a shill, and basically, if somebody has a lot of followers, like 1 million+ followers on YouTube, they're a big content producer. The bigger they are, the more likely they are to be captured by the deep state and be a system shill. Okay, like on YouTube, 1 million+ followers, it's like they're pretty likely to be a system shill. And don't think that, well, if somebody has a few thousand followers, that's absolute proof that they're not a deep state shill. No, they have small shills, medium shills, big shills, but the bigger they are, the more likely that somebody's a shill. The bigger the Instagram, the bigger the Facebook group, the bigger the platform, the bigger the follower count on Twitch or YouTube, the more likely that they are a shill.
And you have one of the largest content creators on any platform routinely doing transphobic propaganda.
Every trans kid is actually a victim of a parent with a mental illness.
Routinely defending this unlawful state execution of a 37-year-old mom.
What do you think about shooting a driver in the face with the gas on the pedal? Yeah, I'm totally okay with it.
How can you say that this is irrelevant and that we shouldn't talk about it at all? This is incredibly relevant. It's my...
Yeah, so on the first issue, I would say I am not for trans. Okay, so Hasan seems to be more woke. Okay, I'm a Christian, so I don't believe it's normal to be trans, and I don't like homosexuality. I don't like trans. I don't like homosexuality. I don't like these things. Does that mean sometimes I like to square it if I go, I'm against feminism, it's a sin to be gay, because people are so up in their feelings. So it's like, yeah, in this stage might be need to clarify. So since I'm against homosexuality, that doesn't mean that I go around harassing gay people on YouTube. Okay, if I see a gay streamer, I go start attacking them. But I will be. I will make videos on my channel if I want. It's a sin to be gay. That's what I believe. That's what the Bible teaches. And there's other people, if they come across my video, might have their feelings hurt, and they can choose if to keep watching that. But I'm against homosexuality. It doesn't mean that I want to like harass or throw them in prison for being gay or beat them up or something like this for being gay. So the issue when I would feel like hurting somebody is if self-defense, somebody's attacking me, fighting against me, and there comes a point where you might have to defend yourself. So anyway, here's the point. Transphobic, yeah, so that's silly. Phobia goes back to, it's in Greek, fear, okay? So phobia means fear. So people a lot of times will go, it's like people are weak people, they can't deal with the truth. Like I make videos, strong women are unnatural, something like this. And what I mean is like a type of woman that's trying to exercise to Instagram models to make the body look more like a man's body. And they want to like try to mold themselves into having more of a man's persona, things like this. It's not as simple as like if a woman does sports, that means she's not a real woman necessarily. No, okay, it's not impossible, but it makes it less likely. So, okay, there is a point. And they'd be like, oh, Mike, only weak men are intimidated, but I'm not intimidated by strong women. It's like they can't deal with the actual arguments. So in the same way, if I go, being a homosexual is a sin, and I'm against homosexuality as an ideology or lifestyle, it's a sin. People might go, oh, you're a homophobe. No, I'm not afraid of gay people. Okay, phobe means fear. So I don't have a fear of gay people. I have an aversion, and I find it to be unseemly, the activity of homosexuality. So I can dislike something without being afraid of it. See, it's like I don't like eating blood pudding. Okay, which is a Swedish dish, something that people eat sometimes. I don't like eating blood pudding. Does that mean that I'm afraid of it? No. Do I have nightmares of blood pudding? No. So I can dislike something without being afraid of it. So there's a difference between a dislike and aversion and a phobia, fear. Okay. So a lot of times they try to discredit you if you're a Christian or you have some views to line up with Christianity. It's like this trans stuff, I'm not about it. Oh, you're a transphobe, which literally means phobe, means fear. So people that have arachnophobia, people have a phobia, they have an irrational fear of spiders, see? So phobia is phobia. So transphobia, it sounds like it's trying to define as a mental illness that they have a preference over ideology. So I'm not afraid of gay people or trans people. I dislike the ideology, and I'm strongly averse to it. So I would say I agree with this Asmongold on this. That in bulk or like the main, like he seems to speak out against trans. Okay, and he says something specifics. I have to think about that, but yeah, being trans is not normal. I'm against that. I'm not afraid. I like a lot of people in Sweden. I'm not afraid to speak against the status quo. I'm not a fan of the LGBTQ. I'm a Christian. I believe it's a sin to be gay. I'm not for feminism. I'm for traditional gender roles. Feminine women, masculine men, and straight people being straight. That's what's normal and natural according to the Bible. So
my backyard. This is my community. This is the space that I occupy. Of course, I'm going to be talking about it. Of course, I'm going to contest it, and I'm going to try to fight back to the best of my ability.
so Asmongold seems to have a little bit of a bootlicker vibe to him, like a back to blue bootlicker vibe. Me, I'm a Christian taught individual, and I've been taught with state persecution is when I seek a porn called gang stalking, and I've been harassed and abused by police, like the Stasi, jackboot, Gestapo thugs in their behavior towards certain people at certain times, in my opinion. So, if he had the same life experience and some more perception, high IQ maybe, and some more wisdom and discernment, he might share, and might not have the same warm, rosy, colored view of the cops. Now, a lot of times the shelfers will be told to push a certain angle.
Might not come across as important to you.
It could be the Asmongold has been told and briefed, like here's the part line to tell. It's like you side with the cops and the ICE agents and the DHS, and when you make a commentary, boy,
you, because you mostly just, come here just to see me, hear my takes, and you treat me like I'm NPR. But I have to live in this space. Many of you don't have to live in this space. I have to live in this space. And I don't like it when I see Asmongold's monstrous audience going to other communities and those spaces as well, and making this place more toxic in general. He has almost single-handedly been able to turn the landscape here, the political environment here, the landscape on this platform into a very toxic and very right-wing one, because a lot of people don't actually entertain politics from the point of
well, right-wing depends on what you mean by right-wing. A lot of times people are classified as right-wing will be people that I agree with more. I mean, I'm a Christian, okay, so I don't have to characterize myself as this or that. I'm a Christian, okay? And a lot of time people that are like big on the label, I'm right-wing or I'm a trad call or something like this, there might be more areas where I agree with them, okay? Now I don't go around identifying as I'm a right-wing anti-liberal or something like this. I'm a Christian, okay? And a lot of right-wing people, I'm more likely to agree with a right-wing person than a left-wing on most issues.
Ideology. They don't entertain politics from the point of policies. They entertain politics from the point of vibes. And if the vibes overall are seemingly leaning through these sorts of botting and through these sorts of metrics, if the vibes overall are creating an environment where like, oh, it's actually the cool thing to be like super right wing, to say yeah based over and over again to Donald Trump videos, or if it's actually to say around and find out when a 37-year-old woman gets executed in broad daylight by an ICE agent, then other people also think like
so my view on Asmongold, he's a toxic person and he's like a douche, you can tell that, I mean, and he's a proof that even the most mediocre people can get famous on the internet. People that have nothing going for themselves. It's not like he has good looks or a good physique or some talent. He doesn't really stand out. He's mediocre. So I've analyzed this too. One of the benefits. I'm scratching my thigh here. I have like a itch here. So here's the point. One of the psychology, like paradoxically so, it can actually help people to be mediocre losers to blow up on the internet, because you do not evoke negative emotions such as envy in people. So if you like me and you're better than most people otherwise, you look better, you're more talented, you have things going for yourself, you evoke envy. Like do you understand that there can be a paradoxical effect where it's like it can be make you less popular. I mean, being mediocre, it's like you're not good enough to have people feel shitty, to be triggered into like envy and like feel insecure, because you see, do you understand? If the average Joe has insecurities about being fat and out of shape and ugly, possibly. And if you're in great shape, it's like you can make them feel bad. It's like that keeps them from wanting to watch videos, because you make them feel bad just by shining, being better. So basically, mediocre people, despite mediocre, can grow, and due in part to the fact that they don't evoke negative emotions, so it becomes like a safe place, understand? Safe space. So Asmongold is like a safe space, or Penguin Seas, it is a pad, a safe space. It's not like somebody's really like ripped and handsome and stuff like this, because people are ugly and insecure and unattractive women, like incels. If they come across a guy who looks good and is in good shape, that makes them feel bad. See? So loser communities where the person is kind of mediocre or sub-mediocre, it's like a safe space. It's like you can go here, watch his videos, and I'm not constantly feeling bad and triggering insecurities and envy. Look at this person streaming. So Asmongold is a sign that despite being mediocre, like a loser, you can still
way of peer pressure, or by wanting to fit in with an in-group, decide this is the appropriate way to do politics, is the appropriate way to talk about politics. Twitch is your community. As much as chatters want to wave their noses at other Twitch streamers and watchers and streamers, the reality is you simply want to improve where you spend most of your time. I know, yes. And I remember a time when it didn't used to be this way, when a lot of right-wing content creators, or a lot of for the most part, wanted to at least come across as like politically correct in an effort not to get their funding pulled, right? They would just basically follow best practices, because the term is in Twitch. And then if I did get banned, they would move the goalposts and say, oh, he only got banned for a short period of time. He still clearly, very clearly owns Twitch. Very clearly owns Twitch, got mad at me and said I was an anti-Semitic terrorist or whatever. They would keep demanding that Twitch ban me. And when Twitch didn't ban me, they would say, oh, he owns Twitch. He owns the terms of service in Twitch. And then if I did get banned, they would move the goalposts and say, oh, he only got banned for a short period of time. He still clearly, very clearly owns Twitch. Every time they did this, they created this environment that Twitch was like hyper woke, when that wasn't the case. And because Twitch clearly responds to outside influence with regular frequency, that's the reason why Asmongold never gets banned, except for when he very literally said that Palestinians deserve to be genocided. Asmongold on the ice shooting, you are never going to convince these people, shoot them, then you victory lap around them if they do
people trying
to
call this a murder and all that well, hey, maybe they shouldn't be in front of the car.
Yeah,
the thing
Elon Musk need to buy Twitch or something like that. Musk bought Twitter, and after that, Twitter became more freedom of speech, like X. Okay, and X is like a place where people have more freedom of speech than it used to be. So maybe Elon Musk should buy Twitch and have it like X, where it's more loose and more freedom of speech, and it could become it's all like a huge streaming platform. So if you're like a billionaire, that would be the business model. If you're like a billionaire, or you're specifically Musk, my recommendation would be, why don't you think about buying Twitch if they're selling it? Okay, maybe not selling it, because it already like a huge platform. It's not like it's a small platform you can develop. It has potential to become profitable. It's already huge, and you can get it even more huge if you make it more freedom of speech. And that would be something that can make it go more people can go to Twitch if the Lord is like a freedom of speech platform.
thing is that you're never going to convince these people that it's not, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is crush them. You crush them completely. You never go, like, after you say, basically after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it and you send in more people and you do it even more. That's the only solution. That you're never going to win these people over. You're never going to explain it to them. You're never going to be like, oh, well, why won't you see my point of view? Because they don't want to. Why not just shoot the tires? So that way you make the car unsafe and some other innocent bystander can get hurt indiscriminately because the person didn't follow.
I mean, shooting the person in the head is making...
Yeah, and there's a huge problem with police in America. They don't like that, like the bootlicking. They started YouTube channels like bootlicking back to blue people. But if you look at YouTube, it's clear that you have a problem with police tyranny and like egregious abuses by law enforcement in America, like murder and police brutality. The cops killing people, murdering people, being brutal and just tyrants, tyrannical, act like tyrants. See? So, as far as I'm concerned, that ICE shooting vehicle, this had most likely, if that could have been avoided.
Making the car unsafe too. What the?
The law? Nah, bro, you shoot them right in the face. They said to stop the car. They said not to do this. They said to get out. And she's walking around driving around.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is literally like a lighter version of what Destiny got unpartnered for, by the way. Like, if I was in Destiny's shoes, first of all, never will be, okay? I would be losing my goddamn mind right now. Back in the day, during peak woke, when Destiny said, I don't give a you know, the riots need to stop so bad. The riots need to stop. They're harming the Democratic Party's chances of winning the deal. But the Mehdi Hasan about this, and Mehdi Hasan said that the next Democratic leadership has to go after Elon Musk and has to, you know, hold him to a where like there is additional scrutiny on a lot of this.
Yeah, well, I subscribe to this guy, and part of what you might see me doing up ahead in my streams, on top of the gaming streams, here on Twitch and YouTube and Rumble, is commentary where I open up YouTube, check Reuters news, do some cultural news, maybe look at some YouTubers like Asmongold or Penguins, or in other spheres. So, like at the fitness sphere, for example. So, Asmongold and Penguin see the like Twitch gaming streamers, you could say. They also do commentary. But yeah, so what do we do? I gotta take a break. I'm gonna get my water bottle to the kitchen and fill it up. We're coming up on the short break here. Be right back. turns out I was muted. So here's my vitamin C water. Topped it up with some filtered water and vitamin C water concentrate. You learn that I'm big on vitamins if you keep watching my streams. Okay. Right now, Twitch, I have everything set to. I might have to look over my Twitch settings because I used to get more views when I went live on Twitch, and then I changed the settings. And I've noticed there's been a decline in views since, like live viewers. Now, basically, I clicked pretty much every disclaimer button you can pick. So every time I go live now, it's like pre-selected. So it becomes. I remember at some point in time, to protect myself from strikes and get my videos pulled, some platforms can be sensitive, anything from like smoking a cigarette on camera to using cuss words or something like this. And I'm not. Now, I got the point where I did that. I was not that studied in what goes on Twitch and what doesn't. So I clicked like every box, disclaimer box you can click, where it's like sexual themes in case they will have problem with guys being shirtless flexing, okay, or making dirty jokes, raunchy jokes, okay, which could end up happening. Talking about drugs or alcohol as a topic of conversation. It's like you never know. So I clicked every like box you could click. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that because I clicked and I notice now when I go live it says may contain sexual themes. Now that's not because I do sexual stuff in my streams, but in case a raunchy joke could count as that, or if I end up flexing shirtless or making a dirty joke or something like this, is like better safe than sorry kind of. So I might have to go and look over that and unclick some of those boxes because it makes me have less views when I have it set the way that I have it set. So let's take a look at some fitness influencers. I mean influencers. Okay, some of them might be influencers. Greg Doucette is a channel that he got on my radar a while back, and I started watching his videos. I take a look at it now and then. There's other channels, and one of the things benefits from keeping an eye on his channel, since I'm a fitness influencer myself, health fitness influencers. There's several health fitness influencers that I got to know about from Greg Doucette channel because he made a video on them. Like for example, clavicular. I didn't know who clavicular was until I saw Greg Doucette make a video on it. I didn't know who Sam Sulek was really until I saw Greg Doucette make a video on it. So that's one of the benefits. Sam Sulek has no chance at all.
Show Sam flexing. I mean, look at this guy. He's likely not going to be as good as he could be. He'll be lucky to beat anyone, if I'm going to be frank, and so who cares?
And part of my commentary on what Doucette has been his testosterone, I call it scam testosterone because it's overhyped and it's just scammy the way that he markets it. It's scammy the way that he markets it. Now, to give him a fair shake, I went and looked on his website, supplement store, and he does carry some supplements there that are not scammy, but are definitely legit, like NAC and ashwagandha, for example. Also, his sleep supplement, he has some kind of sleep aid supplement, and that has some good ingredients, me knowing health fitness, having some competence, serious competence, looking at analyzing his sleep aid supplement, like a supplement that's designed to help you calm down and fall asleep at night. It does have legit like good ingredients to have in a supplement that's supposed to help you fall asleep. I'm not saying it's the best ever. You also have to take into account, like if you're buying the supplement, a bottle, and you need to take this much to have an effect. Let's say he's ashwagandha, then a person might need 600 milligrams or 800 milligrams ashwagandha per day. If they have like a lot of stress and anxiety, they want to take ashwagandha. A certain person might want to take 800 milligrams ashwagandha per day. And let's say Greg Doucette's ashwagandha has 60 capsules with 200 milligrams each. Then there wouldn't be 800 milligrams, wouldn't be a full month. I'm not saying that specifically, I have to look up, but you look it up, you have to take into account not just the ingredient, like what the supplement, but also how many days are you getting. Okay, you want to have a therapeutic amount daily, and how many days of therapeutic amounts of this supplement can you get for your money. So the cost of the supplement matters, and the milligram amount, but I can say that. So he does carry at least two supplements I've seen on his website that are legit. NAC and cysteine is an antioxidant, something that I take myself. This month I didn't order it because I'm on a stricter budget than usual. And ashwagandha. Ashwagandha lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and it's one of many supplements that I take. I don't buy it from Greg Doucette, I buy it elsewhere.
So why not just have fun with it? And having fun is what he's doing.
Is it a rest day if you still did an hour of cardio competition?
People, this would be peak week. And so if you're asking me, he's at least 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
And this is an unhealthy physique. I have an ideal physique. This is an ideal physique. And from every perspective, meaning according to science, women find a man built like me, like an athletic physique. Statistically, most women would pick, if you show them different body types, like this body type that he has, huge, versus this, most women would vote for this physique as the most attractive one. So that's an important metric. I mean, what makes you attractive is few people are looking to exercise to be less attractive, like uglier, okay. And it's like what is attractive is not just for the opposite sex, but it's like what you see in the mirror. So the same thing that women find attractive makes you feel better about yourself. You look yourself in the mirror. So if you have an athletic physique, you can tell yourself that you look good. So that physique is, don't fall for this unhealthy idea. Some men that are young men, like teenagers, and they're unhappy with the physique, they want to get in better shape. They fall for the ideal. It's like a false ideal that they think that they voted out Mr. Olympia Arnold Schwarzenegger body type is what they're trying to get to, which is not good. You're better off achieving and maintaining an athletic, lean physique, athletic, strong, athletic plus, okay? So don't fall for these unhealthy ideas to think that you gotta get voted out and huge. I've done this before. Ideal male physique. Here, born to beastly. And you're gonna see that I didn't make up what I said here. When we asked women which degree of muscularity they were most attracted to, there was a fairly even split between athletic and strong body types. So they asked, let's say it was 100,000 women, which is the most attractive physique. Most women picked athletic, which is the physique that I have. Okay. They picked athletic. And 43% picked strong. So actually my physique is like right between athletic and strong. It'd be like a mix between athletic and strong. Athletic, strong, see. So here, athletic, strong. So I have a mix, like you could say in between athletic and strong, right in the middle of those. Or if you like combine the two, like a blend, athletic, strong. So I could call my physique athletic, strong. And Sam Sulek here would have the very strong, quote unquote, the bodybuilder physique that's huger. and only 6% of women picked that as the most attractive. So, see, I don't just say things to make myself feel good. I got an idea of my physique. No, it's ideal from every perspective, pretty much. Well, for most perspectives. Also for longevity. So if you look into not die in your 40s or 50s, you're more likely to survive your 40s and 50s if your goal is longevity, and unless you're unaliving idol, it's like, yeah, I don't want it. Okay, so which you shouldn't be. You should want to live. So if you want to live a long life, you're more likely to live a long life. Having a lean, athletic physique is conducive to better longevity than a huge physique. So a huge physique, heavy, fat heavy, or muscle heavy, both of those, like big, huge, heavy, is not good for a long lifespan. And it basically, so if you want to live a long life and be more attractive, healthier, and perform at a high level, then you're better off having an athletic physique than a physique like this. So this is not the best physique.
Schedule. He could go into relaxation mode. He could up his calories by 500. He could reduce his cardio. He could just simply go through the motions. If you're for weeks, that he's going to suck you ahead of schedule. Jay Cutler had
You have to inject a lot of hormones to get the physique, which is also the side effects to steroids. And the people that are having these physiques are not on like doctor prescribed HRT, TRT amounts, where they go to doctor says you got low T and they prescribe you testosterone at low level. No, this is like bodybuilder dosages, which is, and the higher the dose, the more the side effects. Now, still, I'm for people being able to choose what to do with their bodies. So I guess that's where I will differ. So I don't call myself a right-wing person. I'm a Christian, okay? So I would line up more with people on the right who call themselves right-wing than people that are left-wing. But a lot of people are like right-wing conservatives. They will be anti-drugs. They'd be like, a lot of people that are right-wing and conservatives are like ban marijuana, therefore marijuana being criminal, illegal, and drugs being super illegal and things like this. Whereas I'm more of a libertarian, at least in part, where I believe that human beings should have the right to smoke marijuana. Human adults now, okay. I'm for people should have the right, adults, to smoke marijuana, even do these hard drugs if they want to. I'm for people being able to choose for themselves what to put in their bodies, good or bad. So I'm for people having the right to get vaccinated, but also I'm for the right of people as a human right to not be forced to get vaccinated against their will. And I'm for people being able to even do bad decisions. So you hear me talk about how bad sugar is. Now, I'm not for making a sugar-controlled substance. People should be able to eat sweets and treats and kill themselves with a high-sugar diet if they want to. And get fat and type 1, type 2 diabetes and dumb themselves down. So sugar is a drug, it's toxic. So basically, I'm for people have the freedom to put whatever substance they want into the body. And to also say no. And not nobody should be able to force anybody to put medications or drugs into the body.
had to give him a wake-up call saying your condition is decent.
Your condition's decent. Okay, good.
He then had to up the ante, and so this year he wanted to do the opposite, and perhaps a year from now to watch Sam look at himself in the mirror.
Holy crap.
I mean, the holy craps, the smiles, the laughs, the looking in the mirror. This is the most impressive I've ever been.
Okay, let's run through a few.
Sam is recording himself. He's recording himself every single day, every moment, his training, his philosophy, his drive to the gym, everything. And in reality, people don't generally do this. And so what he's doing is he's vocalizing what you would experience if you did the exact same thing. Anyone who diets, anyone who competes, feels this way. You may not be as good as Sam Sulek. You may not have his genetics. You may not even be on steroids. You might be 100% natural. But when you watch, you witness the transformation of your physique, because of the hard work that you put into it. Remember, you're the one that did it. You put the fork down, you did the cardio, you lifted the weight, you trained harder than last time. When you see it come to fruition, the work that you put in, you're going to feel exactly like this. I mean, one pose after the next, each more impressive than the last. This looks amazing. Now, when I say he looks about 20 days out, for most people, this is show ready, but I'm talking about at the professional level, he's 40 days out, but he only needs about half.
Oh my gosh. No, that is crazy.
And you can see how hard this is. I mean, just flexing, holding it, breathing. It's hard. And speaking of hard, you know what this is for, harder than friggin' last time for the down. Goes to your coach, your trainer, or when you judge your own physique, don't judge it in shitty lighting, because if you do that, you're going to remember Sam Sulek.
Yeah, and lighting is huge. It's like there's a reason why I'd like to make videos. If it's exercising or flexing, videos are like visually, okay. I mean, if I'm doing like voice work and I'm doing like Bible reading or something like this, Genesis 1, okay. If I'm doing something that's like audio mostly, it's not important, the quality. But if I want a quality video from a visual perspective, I'm doing unboxing or make a super shake meal prep, and I'm like showing stuff and talking. If I want to have good video quality, a lot of times I want to go to the bathroom because I have a light there, and it's the best light for videos right now since the fluorescent light tubes in the kitchen went out. So if I want to have good like video quality, I go to the bathroom. It makes a big difference. Like if I make a video posing and flexing in bad lighting or low lighting, it's completely different. It's like an anti-filter bad lighting. It'd be like if you put a filter to make it'd be like if you take a picture of yourself and go to AI, make it uglier. It's like that's the effect that you have from bad lighting. So lighting makes a big difference. Now, so to square what I said before, I have an ideal male physique, so don't fall for the unhealthy ideals where some people think it's like, let's say there's a guy who's fat or a guy who's 17 years old and thinking about starting to exercise and he feels unhappy with his physique. He might be scrawny or fat or something like this. Unfortunately, I have a lot of guys in their 20s with dad bods now. And then they go like they're starting to move away from where they are now to something else. A lot of times they aim for like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sam Sulek, just look at their physique. And they think like that's the best because it's better what they have. And it's kind of celebrated. A lot of people are celebrities and fitness influencers, the biggest ones have the biggest physiques. And they fall into thinking that that's the best. It's not. So remember, for attractiveness, the physique that I have is ideal, and that's an attainable physique too. So the physique that I have is ideal, which means what most women vote for as the most attractive physique, which is an important metric, okay? And being like Sam Sulek, few women pick that as the most attractive physique. And that's I call the metrics. I'm a Christian, I'm married. So it's not that when I talk about this, it means, oh, I'm trying to look my best so I can sleep with many women. I don't play that game. I'm married. That is a called a metric, okay? Kind of like women are attracted to competence. So that's also called a metric, where it's like, what is good to be as a man? One of the things you can look at, what does women find attractive? Because women, a lot of times, they will go for the best. So quality genetics, for example, manifested good looks and a high IQ and things like this. It's better to be smart than to be dumb. So if the things you can do to make yourself smarter, that makes it more attractive. So once again, it's better to be smart than to be dumb. Eating a high sugar diet makes you dumber. So if you go on a low sugar diet, it makes you smarter. And women find smart guys more attractive than dumb guys, typically, generally. So a metric that matters in kind of gauging what is good and what is bad can be simply what women find attractive. And so an athletic physique is ideal and is attainable. So the physique that I have is attainable and ideal. So it's an attainable ideal, see. Whereas the Sam Sulek physique is an unattainable non-ideal. Meaning it's unattainable for 99.99% of people without performance-enhancing drugs that have side effects. High-dose testosterone injections, which a lot of these bodybuilding types are doing, have side effects. Okay, it is a lot of them get heart problems and stuff like this. So why pick unhealthy unideal over a healthy ideal? So the physique that I have is ideal and it's attainable, and I can teach you how to achieve and maintain it. So this physique that is ideal according to science and what people vote for, women vote for, it's also better for your health. You're more likely to live a long life, gives you better stamina, things like this. And it's attainable, and you can learn from how to attain it. So it's not, so they're good. They're so good because the physique that I have is ideal, and it's attainable. I'm 36, so if somebody's like 18 years old, they can achieve this physique. It's not unattainable, and you don't have to get on roids to achieve that physique. So it's ideal. It's an attainable ideal that you don't have to do bad things to get. You don't have to inject roids into yourself. So don't fall for false ideals, fake ideals. And I think that the bodybuilder rode it to the gills, Sam Sulek, Arnold Schwarzenegger physique is ideal. It's not. Now to kind of square this, I'm not a hater, okay? Meaning if I see Greg Doucette having a bodybuilder physique or Sam Sulek or Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's a little bit impressive. Okay, and it does show dedication and hard work. So it's not like you just inject roids and you wake up and they look like that. You still have to put in the work, exercising and dieting and everything else. So I'm not a hater, but the point is this. It is still true that generally this is ideal, and the huge physique is not ideal. Okay, now for some people, niche, it could be a specific idea for a person. See, it's like, let's say people might have different callings or destinies, or it's like might have different talents and things. So maybe one person's unique ideas of, well, ever since I was a boy, I've been dreaming of being like a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder. Yeah, maybe for one person that's willing to like sacrifice, understand. But it's one of these things where you have to be aware that the side effects, you're more likely to die in your 40s or 50s, or even your 30s, if you live a lifestyle to get this physique. So for most people, it's not ideal. For fringe, like the rare person that's like, that's my dream, it always has been to be like a centerfold or Mr. Olympia, Men's Fitness magazine, voted to the gills for this type of physique. Yeah, for that person, it might be ideal, but it comes with some side effects. It's one of those things. So let's get back to watching the video.
From right now, you're going to remember that photo, that physique, and you're going to be comparing yourself to that. You might not think you're comparing, you might not want to compare, but subconsciously, indirectly, you're comparing yourself to Sam. If you've seen Sam, you're flexing the mirror and you're doing your thing and you're thinking, I'm not as big as Sam. I'm not as lean as Sam. I'm not as good as Sam. But don't make...
Yeah, I'm as lean as Sam for sure. I'm definitely not as big, and I don't want to be. That's another thing that I get sometimes when people are like insecure and haters, to be like, I've got that before. It's like, I'm exercising. Now here's the thing that you don't like to hear. I'm happy. I have an ideal physique. I have just the physique that I want, understand? I'm happy with my physique. I already have an ideal physique. So a lot of people exercise because they're not happy with the current physique and they're working to get happy, see? And a lot of people don't know what to talk about. I've had haters before go like, I buy a bodybuilding magazine, I keep training, exercising, one day you'll get there. No, I already have an ideal physique, okay? So I'm not working towards getting huge. I'm not trying to get huge or bigger, see? I'm not trying to get towards, I don't have like, I want to be like Sam Sulek and have that physique. I'm not trying to get there. I have the physique that I want. There might be some micro adjustments where it's like I keep exercising, grow a bit more here. I'm not going to hate it if I have a little bit more muscle here or there. But it's like I'm already happy with what I have. So a lot of people have this retarded, like, oh yeah, the best is the bodybuilding physique. So if you're fit but you're not having the Miss Olympia physique, that's not better. No, I've proven you wrong. My physique is ideal. I'm happy with the physique that I have perfect physique.
Make it any worse. Don't pose under horrible lighting and say, I feel fat. I must have 15%. I thought I had 12. Don't say these things. Give yourself the best chance to.
Yeah, I'm definitely as lean as I'm so possibly leaner. Obviously not as big, and I don't want to be. So.
Feel like you look good. Trust me, almost every social media influencer on Instagram, YouTube, they're posting their best photos. Many are editing their photos. They're even using AI. They're using the best downlighting, the best angles.
I don't, okay. So I don't do any post edit. I don't use filters. The videos, the pictures that I don't use filters. And I don't use AI. I don't edit my photos. And that's the truth. So all I do is on-site optimization, which means I don't know if I got to take a thumbnail here. Okay, if I want to get a thumbnail for a video, and I'm typically I don't care too much. Okay, so I just go live. But it's like if I want to have a thumbnail, I might go like check. It's like, what do I look the best? If it's what like here, maybe a little bit further, what like this. If I want to get a good thumbnail, take a picture for thumbnail. Then maybe move the light around. It's like try to light here. It's like, oh, here, that looks better. So it's like, it's no post ad, okay? I don't use filters. If you see my selfies, you see my shorts, videos, flexing, my selfies, there's no editing, there's no AI, there's no filters. And if I do, I will let you know. I mean, if I do something sometime, if I start doing it, it's like edits and add filters, I let you know, like the AI filters, something like this. So I don't use filters. And that shouldn't be that hard to understand because most of my selfies, the screenshots from my live stream. So I do exercise streams, pumping iron, and I go play the video the day after live stream, and I pause and take a screenshot, and then just crop it. So the editing is cropping it, okay? So I don't use filters. I don't use editing software. I do take measures to look better, like at least a little bit. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing a video where it's like I'm doing a modeling video, like flexing, short and stuff, I like to look my best at. And it basically the lighting, okay? So for videos, it is like where's the lighting, what's the best distance, what's the best lighting and the angle and things like this. So there's no editing on my videos. This is not editing. This is just standing in a spot of my apartment that had the best lighting at the moment in time. And that's not even the most impressive, best we can pick, but it's decent. I'm clicking the presentation bar, waiting for it to click in. It gets to a time sometimes after streaming for 2 hours or so, I notice this rumble sometimes gets a little bit laggy. I don't know if it's on my end, the computer gets overheated, or if it's rumble, but I've noticed that after a while of streaming, things get a little bit lag. Like I click a graphic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took around 5 seconds after clicking that graphic until it popped up on the screen. See, and then we'll test it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, around 4 seconds. So yeah, it's gotten to the point where everything's a bit laggy. If I click the screen share, it takes a few seconds until it starts sharing it.
And so when you compare yourself to anyone that you swiped out on the internet, understand that you're comparing them to their best. And so why not look at yourself when you're at your best?
I don't really have that problem. I don't compare myself to others and feel bad if I do it. Because I already have an ideal. It's like I'm happy. I have just the body. I have a perfect body. I have an ideal physique, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't have this problem if I see a guy who's bigger or looks this way or that way, that I feel bad. It's like I'm looking to compete like against myself. Is it not compared to maybe how I looked before or how? So it's like I'm not really too sensitive to that. Meaning how other people look. I don't care too much. I care about what I look like now, what I can look like tomorrow, what I look like yesterday. I don't really care like a huge amount of what I look like on a daily basis. I'm focusing the first person view, think about things and reading the Bible or watching videos. I'm not really thinking about what I'm looking like all the time. I'm like clavicular. Okay.
Like, I mean, I can see all my freaking lat inserts all the way at the bottom.
I mean, he's almost, dare I say, is he almost as lean as Mike Israetel?
Thank you, Greg.
With the proper 10, would Mike Israetel be leaner than Sam Sulek?
We might be exactly as lean. If I might even be a little bit leaner than him, but at worst, I'm as lean as Sam Sulek, like body fat percentage. I might even be leaner. Now this is a little bit older video. We can look at so the body fat. I mean, some like Gregory said might be able to tell my body fat percentage just based off of looking at pictures, and I'd say I'm as lean as Sam Sulek, if not leaner. Okay, so let's say he's got 12% body fat. I got 12% body fat. I might even have 1 or more percent lower. So let's say he's got 12, maybe I got 11 or 10, maybe 11. So we look at. I told you I'm as lean as Sam Sulek. So let's look at the video I did yesterday, exercising, and we focus on the visual with the audio turned off. 720p. Look for it where I took my shirt off. Here. Yeah, I'd say I'm as lean as Sam Sulek. Let's look at the short video uploader, which is here. This is a clip from live stream yesterday. Yeah, I'd say I'm at least as lean as Sam Sulek. Possibly the same exact body fat percentage. Yeah, I'd say I'm as lean, if not slightly leaner than Sam Sulek.
Look, I don't know if it translates.
Yeah, buddy, it translates. Trust me, you could have had Coach Greg translating for you. I've been practicing my Duolingo.
But I am a happy freaking lifter.
And so we're all happy to see how good it feels. And what we're referring to is how good it feels to get a discount by using code Greg at HCLT Supplements. That is a better feeling that I can in a
little bit less enjoyable.
Pro, but for the rest, consume more. The list goes on and on. Subscribe, click the stinking bell button, comment, and
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to finish up here. Okay, maybe lay down in my bed, rest a little, and do scroll and roll my phone, watch videos privately. So If you watch on Twitch or Rumble or YouTube as a first-time viewer, subscribe to me if you want to see future content. And this is the type of content you might see more of. Okay. I've been streaming daily or near daily over the years. Only not on Twitch until recently. So I've been live streaming on YouTube on a daily basis, and then I started live streaming on Rumble more, and it's like a near daily basis. So if you subscribe to me, you can more or less expect to be able to catch me live streaming daily. So you would have to wait a long time to catch me live streaming. I live stream on a near daily basis. And there's everything from exercise training streams to gaming streams to commentary streams to IRL streams and all kinds of stuff. So you can subscribe to me, and I'm not monetized. So some YouTubers have it so people can send donations. I'm not monetized, but my wife has a PayPal. I'm in a long distance relationship. My wife lives in Thailand, and it's an LDR long distance relationship. And if people want to support me, what I'm doing, you can send a donation to my wife. Okay, that's an indirect way to support me. So I can't take donations, but my wife has a PayPal, she can. So, yeah. Jag ska börja the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, enable notifications, click the bell. And also remember, if you have the chat open, if you don't want to get blocked, be respectful, courteous, and polite. And if you're not, expect to get blocked. Also, if I notice that somebody started writing comments and didn't click the like button, they get blocked. So 9 out of 10 times. Okay, let's go to the end of the video.